All right, just a couple of quick notes before we get started here today. Do not bully or harass anybody mentioned in this live stream/video, and do not bully or harass anybody in the chat or the comments. It will not be tolerated, and I will ban you. Also, today we're going to be talking about Mormonism. I am not a Mormon. I am not an expert on Mormonism. I am just a person with an opinion. And as such, thoughts, feelings, and opinions expressed on this channel are solely my own thoughts, feelings, and opinions, not facts. We're just here to have fun. Last note for Jimmy and his pals. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might be otherwise infringing. All right, hello, lovely people of the internet. 'Tis I, Ophelia, aka Savage Minnow, aka Red Person, at least for the rest of this week and the weekend. Sorry about that. Denver merch is going to go bye-bye this weekend. It will be replaced by other Pumpkin Gate merch, but if you do want the Denver skyline and or the Red Person logo, get it by this weekend or it's gone. I think that's it for announcements. Oh, besides, Gamer Mom Cooking is rescheduled for tomorrow. Hello, Jane. I hope everybody is having a wonderful morning. I do have some bingo cards here this morning that a lovely viewer created for us. You can get your bingo card on the Discord if you would like. I will be doing the callers card today, which is just it just has all of them on it, but not in like a bingo grid. So if somebody else does call bingo before me, because I also have a card printed out, then I'll be able to check it. Porgnatius says that they're gonna live vicariously through our bingo. All right, it's Janie. Okay. Sorry about that. Janie Davis. Thank you. So yeah, I'm going to be possibly doing a bingo card or possibly just doing the callers card. I'm going to try and do the callers card at least. Last time it was a little bit much like trying to like talk to you guys and then do the bingo and everything at the same time. But I think if I'm just doing the callers card, it might be a little bit easier. Sabatanius is still packing, but thinks they will be finished today. Yay! Congratulations. I am not done unpacking yet. If you can see all of my it's just slightly off camera though, so you guys don't have to look at it. All right, today we're going to be doing Jimmy's video on 3 Mormons, and it's about their like modesty and dress video. So this one I do think, now last time I felt like I didn't get bingo as quickly as I maybe would on some other videos because he was talking about astrology as opposed to like specifically religion, even though like some people view them as being one and the same. So I think we might get bingo really quick this time. And I think we'll call it like ultimate bingo if like we fill out all of the cards. If we get like 100% coverage, it'll be ultimate bingo. So, I think I might have forgotten to pull up let me grab the window capture really quick. Sorry. There's his face. Sabatanius' blackout bingo is almost guaranteed with a specific Mormon reaction. Yeah, it might be. It might be almost guaranteed. We'll see. That's what it's called, blackout. We'll see if we can get it on all the cards.
Is modest the hottest for your bodest? These 3 Mormons sure think so. I don't want to waste time. Let's do this. modest, the hottest for your bodest? These three
No,
women
I
should-
hit the wrong button.
Such as short shorts, mini skirts.
Oh,
tight
now I have to go back.
everyday living.
There we go.
Immodest clothing such as short shorts, mini skirts, tight clothing, shirts that do not cover the stomach, and other revealing attire are not appropriate.
Yeah.
Some old white dude
Drop the
said,
mic.
ladies, cover up. If you like it, then you should have put some clothes on it. If you like it, then you should have put some clothes on it. Is Robert D. Hales dead?
Robert D. Hales died the 1st of October, 2017 at age 85 in Salt Lake City.
Bummer.
Yeah, so in everyday living.
Yes.
In everyday living.
Yes.
We're going to talk about swimming suits, okay? And guess what?
That's an everyday thing for some people.
No, it's not.
If you live in Hawaii.
Wait, yes, this pertains only to people in Hawaii. Only Hawaiians.
Uh-oh, we are setting up for conflict. And the funny thing,
Quaku's magic underwear is always showing under his shirt. I have noticed that as well. Quaku is the one on our left as we're looking at them. He, I feel like, he's a little bit like pushes the boundaries. I think him and Jimmy are like buddies outside of like YouTube. Like they actually talk IRL. So it wouldn't surprise me if he was like a little bit of the rebel.
thing is, this video is overall supposed to be about modesty, but it is mostly about bathing suits. And I'm going to spoil what's going to happen.
That's okay.
There is a little bit of obscure language in the church handbook and in the For Strength of Youth pamphlet regarding what kinds of swimsuits you should wear. They definitely call for modesty, and as Mormons are wont to do, they definitely blame women for the actions of others.
I kind of understand like bathing suits being separate from like everyday attire, but at the same time, like, does it really matter? And like, yeah, if they have to wear their magic underwear or their temple garments, how do you wear temple garments and go swimming?
I'm sure we're going to talk about that more in a minute. They're going to use that obscure language to act as though within the church the conversations aren't happening all the time and that women aren't encouraged to cover up even when swimming. And as we
I also think it's funny that Jimmy always kind of dresses as if he's wearing like temple garments, even though he said that he's never worn temple garments himself. So I think it's funny that he does still pretty much kind of like dress like a Mormon, dare I say.
watch, and I will point it out later, there is a very clear reason that the two guys on the outside disagree with the woman in the middle.
So I think everyday living means like your life. Do you not live every single day?
Okay, you wake up, when you go to work, when you come back from work. If you're with your family and you're swimming, it doesn't matter what...
Yes, it does.
No, not really, though.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Kwaku, the guy all the way on the left, I imagine he was actually given a talking to after this episode, if for no other reason than this line.
Not really. You could be wearing 2 Post-it notes and a sugar packet. I don't care, because if you're swimming, we know you're going to be partially naked.
I love the 2 Post-it notes and a sugar packet. I forgot about the 2 Post-it notes and a sugar packet. Ah! Yes. That I feel like that probably like wouldn't be allowed. In a lot of religion. But I get his point. His point is that like if it's around your family and you're not like, you know, worried about like, because the reason for covering up is supposedly so that like, you know, men's eyes aren't drawn to you. If you're just around your family, then like you don't have to worry about like men's lustful eyes being drawn to you. So like, yeah, what's wrong with 2 Post-it notes and a sugar packet?
That's what it's for.
Yeah.
So if you're swimming and you're judging people so much in what they're wearing, it doesn't matter.
No,
if it,
I'm still on the
2
2 Post-it
Post-its and a
notes and
sugar
a
packet.
sugar packet.
Let me tell you, 2 Post-it notes and a sugar packet is a lot more than I wear at the beach. I can even
Okay,
hear the
yeah.
conversation he's having with the bishop. This is how it's going to go. Now,
Oh my gosh. Sabatania said, I think this is the video where I started thinking free Kwaku. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Kwaku comes out as an ex-Mormon in a few years. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, he seems like he's legit happy. Maybe he could be faking it. We shall see. But he seems like one of those guys who's like, he's just kind of happy-go-lucky. And I don't like necessarily see him as being like, oh, I need to get out of this. But like if he is, then yeah, like if he wants out, he should get out.
You understand, Brother Kwaku, or whatever his last name is, that you're an example to these young people, and people going to your channel are going to model their behavior after what you said. And the For Strength of Youth pamphlet reminds us that the...
Wait, this is Mockery McMockerson? I know it's on here somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna put a little check. Okay.
The actions of others are affected by what you wear. So 2 Post-it notes and a sugar packet is certainly going to incite all kinds of riots of men who, as you know, can't control their actions once they get a certain level of aroused. Yes, that thing about men being aroused and no longer being able to control their actions is not an unpopular belief in the church. I talked a little...
Oh, and then also we've got in Mormonism as well. Okay, sorry.
A little bit in my video about the 29 questions that children are constantly being asked in Bishop's worthiness interviews. Check that video out if you want your entire day ruined.
I lived
We
in
saw
San
it.
Francisco. I saw some things.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
God.
Bay Area.
Bay Area,
I understand
right?
what that's
Okay.
like. Okay.
So
Did they just high five over like seeing like partially naked women? I think that's funny that these are like grown ass men who are like high fiving over naked women. But Sabatania says, I think the whole video is, quote, in Mormonism, which is one of our boxes on the bingo card. And yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
I'm just saying that if you're looking at girls and you're gonna find something to look at, no matter what, no matter if they're showing or if they're not, you're gonna find something. They're wet and it's tight. So
I agree with him. So, I haven't actually mentioned it in this video, but I am a pansexual person, and I agree that it's like if you find somebody attractive, like your brain is gonna like do things, like whether they're covered up or not. Now, it maybe like does things a little bit easier if they're like not covered up, but like it's on you as the person whose brain is like thinking things to like control your actions. Okay, like freaking control your actions, or like. If that's really such an issue for you that like you literally cannot control your actions, then like don't go out in public because that's creepy.
Once again, it would be in very poor taste to repeat that last line and then again slow down.
they're wet and it's tight.
They're wet and it's tight.
By the way, also going back to my church years, the fact that he admitted he's from San Francisco is
Let's see. I feel like that was another one there, but I'm not sure.
something Mormons will use to dismiss his opinion. Oh, he's one of those San Fran Mormons. They're a little more progressive, but they don't really represent the values of the church.
Kwaku, you're
I
right.
say-
You're right about
It's
the boys.
accurate.
You're right about the boys.
You're
okay?
accurate.
But if you're like trying
The
to
boys?
be honest, like trying to
That wasn't my pausing. That was
that means
his.
you're like trying to like prevent that bad thing from happening, correct?
Wouldn't
think
you
it falls
rather?
under the individual.
No, wouldn't you rather date a girl who would rather cover herself up while out in public at the pool than show herself off to everybody?
I just realized I moved on from a part that I shouldn't have. Let me rewind real quick.
You're
I
right.
say-
You're right about
It's
the boys. You're
accurate.
right about the boys.
Yeah.
Okay?
You're right about
Oh, is there, I know there's something about gender roles on here. Religious gender roles enforcer. You got that one. You got that square. Yes, Mockery McMockerson likes to mock the Mockervale McMockersons. Yeah. That's a good comment. Yeah, he's very much into the mocking. I also think we're going to get indoctrination, Sabatanias. I think it's coming up here pretty quick.
the boys. It's fine if they show, if they use just one sugar packet. Holy crap, usually people at least try to hide when there's a clear double standard. Anyway, let's return to her asking who he'd rather date.
I'd rather date a girl who covers up in general.
Yeah.
Like who's modest and they're everyday. The pool
Okay, that's personal preference. That's cool.
I think is an
Yeah,
exception.
Kwaku's just saying the pool
I
is
think
just
the
like,
pool is an
you're
exception.
basically half naked no matter what, and people are just going to look at your buns. Like, that's just going to happen.
I wish society wasn't like that.
Well, this is a show on planet Earth.
Also putting myself in the mindset of an extremely horny young Mormon, I am speculating here. What I'm pretty
I
sure
have
he is
such
saying
mixed
is don't
feelings
take
over
this
this.
exception away from me. I'm not allowed to jerk off or look at porn, and I am doing at least one of those things. So don't you take
I was a
bikinis
raptor.
away from me. The whole thing about modesty in the church is mostly preventing men from having impure thoughts and shaming women for their contribution to those impure thoughts. Anyway, keep going, you clowns.
This is a show on Earth, Shelly. It's not a show in reality.
I think we just got indoctrination and performative feminism
modest things, and that'll
where-
be what girls will say, like, oh, it's so hard to find something that's cute and modest. It's not
You know
that.
what?
It is hard, but it's not impossible.
I think it's okay with the high-waisted bottom.
I agree with her as far as like that it's hard to find something that's like modest, but it's not impossible. Just for me as like a fashion choice, a lot of times I would wear what would be considered to be like more modest types of clothing. And in the summertime, it is sometimes like kind of hard just to find like shorts that, you know, I feel comfortable with that are longer. I end up shopping in the men's section a lot, but I think that's also like against their religion to wear like like clothes that are for the wrong gender. I remember wifey saying something about that to me, that it was like, even if it was something that like basically looked unisex, if it was like from the women's section, like she wasn't allowed to wear it because she was assigned male at birth. So I think that maybe is an issue for some people in their religion. Again, I'm not like supporting Mormonism, but I'm also like not bashing on people who choose to follow the religion. I haven't met a group of Mormons that I think are like really great and not brainwashing people, but that doesn't mean that they're not out there. So yeah.
Bottom and the top thing.
I hugely disagree, but that's okay.
That's fine.
To me,
You just don't even
Disagree.
care, right?
I don't really care. I don't think when
All right, I'm going to point out why they disagree so much. The reason why they disagree so much.
I want to read the comments really quick. Sabatana said, dude, it's hard to find a one piece for literal infants. I believe that. I believe that. Sometimes like they like sexualize kids at such a young age, and then they're like, oh, protect the children. Like there's such mixed messages from society, I feel like. And Lizaraptor agreed and said, yes, I have children. It's hard to find swimwear for them. Yeah. Bree said, depends on your body shape. Turtlenecks make my chest look huge. Yeah, I am a large chested person. And if I like wear a bra and a turtleneck, it makes my chest look ginormous. If I don't wear a bra and a turtleneck, it makes my boobs just like look saggy. Like it's just like it's not a good look, in my opinion. But again, people can wear like whatever they feel comfortable with, whatever they like to wear. That's what they should wear. I even have like mixed feelings about like if people really need to like cover up stuff, but like whatever. If you guys watch Gamer Mom Cooking, you've heard me talk about that.
Is this young lady in the middle versus the two on the outside has attended the Young Women's Organization. And we're going to talk a lot deeper about the Young Women's Organization later in the month when I'm actually having somebody who went through it on the show. But
So I think the Young Women's Organization is like where they like basically sit down the ladies and they're like, oh, ladies, let's not make the men lustful, and let's not try and have, big roles in the church, leadership roles, that sort of thing, is my understanding of it. But I could be completely wrong, and feel free to correct me in the chat and comments.
this is an organization that from 12 to 17, young women and people who are told they are women, regardless of what they feel like they actually are told that the height of their existence is making babies and taking care of homes, and shamed for ever expressing a sexual thought or ever even implying that sex sounds like a fun thing one day. For example, one of the great things that comes out of this is literally every
I just love the way that he put that. Like, they're shamed for thinking that sex sounds like it might be a fun thing one day. Does this check trauma dumping enter the chat? Because it's not his trauma.
Every single individual I have talked to about their experience in the Young Women's Organization said that they were told about the chewed gum analogy. And basically their teacher
I
was
hate this
chewing up some
analogy.
gum, and every bite represented
We got
either
the,
every time they had maybe had premarital sex or
The one that we did at our school, not even kidding, our school, was the teacher took a rose and handed this like nice, pretty rose from a florist to the first person. And we were supposed to like pass it back and forth between all the people. And then the last person handed it back to the teacher. And of course, even though like every person was like delicate and touched it, delicately or whatever, which not everybody did, but whatever, that it was like this beat up looking rose, and nobody would want that as a gift, by the time it like got through the whole class. Same analogy. It's a gross analogy. Your sexuality isn't a rose or a piece of gum or anything like that. And I agree with him that this is just like a gross analogy.
Done something that the church deems impure. And then at the end, the teacher takes the gum out of her mouth and asks who would want a chewed up piece of gum. I'm just trying to set up the nature of the shame system in the young women's organization.
Oh, okay. You guys are telling me yours. See, Liza Raptor said, I grew up Catholic church and we were told that no one likes a lock that any key can open. Oh, that's so awful. Porgnatius says, we got the sock analogy. What's the sock analogy? Bree says, we did the tape analogy where if you stick the tape on your arm, it no longer sticks after a while once you put it on a bunch of people's arms. Yes, I've heard about that one where it's like you stick it and then you stick it to somebody else's arm and you stick it to somebody else's arm and you stick it to somebody else's arm. And then after a while, it doesn't stick anymore. And like, that's a useless piece of tape. Yeah, it's gross. What's the sock analogy? I'm wondering, Porgnatius. Maybe they're typing, letting us know. Janie says, I was raised Catholic, and when they tried to give us the evils of prophylactis speech, they asked if anyone knew what the rhythm method was, and I said, me. Oops. Priscilla says, I slept with a virgin and a near virgin before. That's not fun. I don't like teaching. I am incredibly impatient. Yeah, so it might be like that's good for some people and not good for other people. Basically, it's who wants to share a sock. Think of sharing a sock with the football team and then the next person. Ugh. Oh, these are all terrible analogies. But yeah, I like what Priscilla said. It's like some people like don't like sleeping with a virgin at all. Like some people do. Yeah. Janie said she was the youngest of 5. I'm assuming she, her pronouns. Let me know if that's incorrect. Yeah. So the rhythm method procured them 5 children when they were trying to avoid it. That's funny. I mean, funny, like he, not funny, haha. Because that sucks if they weren't planning for 5 kids. Kids are expensive. Kids are expensive.
And you can see it on her face. He was saying a high-waisted bottom and something that covered the top. And you could see in her face how uncomfortable she became because she knew, regardless of that obscure language in the manuals, that the people who were teaching her and responsible for shaping her
we've got an
mind
ad.
would be ashamed to see her in something like that.
All right. Sorry, I backed up 5 seconds for context.
Teaching her and responsible for shaping her mind would be ashamed to see her in something like that. We'll keep going.
I don't think your testimony of the gospel is affected by your swimsuit.
Yeah.
I think that your testimony of the gospel should affect your swimming suit.
That's true.
Mormons would treat that
I've
like a mic
heard
drop moment,
that
and I'm sure Kwaku is
analogy before.
But to tell you the truth, I agree with her. Now, I think your testimony of the church is baloney. I can say with a degree of certainty, having put the church through the actual filters and tests of skepticism and science, that the church isn't true. But if you did believe it was true, I think she is right. Your testimony would affect your swimwear. That is to say, your testimony would shame you out of being comfortable.
Yeah,
sorry,
I agree.
My post-it note got itchy.
How long your swimming suit is isn't exactly how big your testimony is or how strong your testimony is.
Correlated.
I'm saying if you have a testimony of
Yes.
the gospel and Jesus Christ and the prophets being like latter day prophets who receive.
Yes, we did get the square for, well, God doesn't exist. So, and I feel like we've also gotten the opposing viewpoint is wrong. Just, yeah, throwing that out there. And possibly, I feel like we haven't quite tipped all the way into my experiences universal territory. But when it comes to the blood of Christ, it's okay for a large group of people to share. Oh, this is in reference to the, okay. So there's a comment. I grew up Catholic and the analogy was a glass of water. Who wants to drink from a glass that everybody has taken a sip from? So the response to that was, but when it comes to the blood of Christ, it's okay for a large group of people to share. Oh boy, I love Catholic logic. Yes.
Revelation from God, I think that you will want to wear a modest swimsuit.
This is, by the way, the smiley way Mormons shame each other. The entire church runs on shame. And so right now, this representative of the Mormon church is basically giving you a gauge on whether or not your testimony is good enough. She's giving an order to it. She's saying, no, the egg preceded the chicken, but is also saying that if your testimony is as good as mine clearly is, you wouldn't wear those bathing suits. And this is what leads people to that insecurity, to that problem, to that I feel like I believe, but I guess I don't because I'm such a shameful person. But they don't consider at least quick enough giving up the belief that it might be wrong. Instead, they go with, well, the belief is true, so I'm not good enough.
I'm not judging you if you wear, I'm not talking to you guys don't wear bikinis. I'm not judging you if you wear a high-waisted
She's such a hypocrite
bikini.
about 21 posts in the comment section.
I'm not judging you if you wear a bikini, but I have said that your testimony isn't good enough if you do.
I just don't think it's appropriate. I wouldn't wear it. I wouldn't want my kids to wear it.
So what about guys in modesty?
Oh
so
my God.
I'm ripping off my shirt, I'm pumping iron, you're seeing the flesh just like... And you're just like...
That happens to you?
Sometimes when I'm working out, I feel like I'm just like... But like, I don't really
I can imagine this guy
blessed,
definitely like feels like he's like the Hulk.
Yeah.
I was. You might think I look fat, but this is actually all just solid muscle. JK, I want a zebra cake.
So we kind of feel each other on that one.
Okay.
I'm not feeling it.
I think that's gonna go into where's the one where he mocks other people's hobbies? I think that's one on here. Mocks belittles hobby he's not into. I'm gonna go with weightlifting being that.
Abs, but I feel we
There's no
understand each other.
touching on this show.
No, but what I'm saying is there a double standard? Like guys can just like take off their shirt, walk around, go to the beach. Okay.
There's a double standard.
Yeah, there's a double
Absolutely
standard.
agree. There is a double standard. Now let's watch as they successfully pointed out something correctly and screw it all up.
Like if men can work out without their shirts on, the next obvious, like if there's gender equality, why can't women work out without their shirts on?
Again, if you've seen my gamer mom cooking, you know my opinion on this. Because I feel like anybody should be able to like work out naked if they want. But yes, I agree that in our society, there's a double standard. And in most places, it's not okay for a woman to work out without her shirt on, where it is okay for a man to work out with their shirt on. And it seems like the definitive line is like, if the person has breasts, then you have to cover them up. But like, I don't understand why.
You were just saying that they should cover up.
Exactly, that's why I'm saying men should cover up as well. Did you just punch me?
I'm sorry, I freaked out.
Okay, men need...
Have to pause. Did he just say shit? Oh man, he really is one of those progressive Mormons.
I was saying that men need...
You're right. Hashtag freak Waku.
to wear shirts if women are also expected to wear shirts. That's what I meant by that.
Wait, Goose, you need to...
And I think just the opposite. I think we live in a world, and especially a country, that has made certain types of nudity for one class of people inappropriate. And it's not a matter of being a prude. Unhealthy sexual attitudes lead to more unhealthy attitudes.
Superfluous
and more unhealthy
soapboxing.
actions. But the church will never acknowledge that. They'll only blame you for not having a strong enough testimony.
You, Shelly,
The church.
You're telling me.
Kwaku from
Okay, so men should work out with shirts,
Texas.
is what you're saying.
Men should wear clothes. Everyone should wear clothes. I am an advocate for clothing everywhere.
We certainly live in a society that does reflect that clothing is a necessary thing. And by the way, I like wearing clothes. But even if it's something everyone is doing, it should be because it's a choice everyone is making.
I agree with Jimmy on that.
An informed choice. I'm not sure who the quote was from. I feel like it was Hitchens in a debate, but my audience, you're wonderful. You can let me know in the comments if you knew who it's from. It goes something like, the only actual original sin was committed by he who ever looked at another man and told him he was naked. It's something along those lines. I don't mind wearing clothes. I mind that what is clearly wrapped up in here is shame. Everyone should wear
I agree with Jimmy on this, that like I don't think that like people should cover up out of shame. I think that if they want to cover up, they should cover up because it's what's comfortable for them. Janie asks, but what about men with chesticles? So I'm assuming that, or do we mean like trans men that have tissue still in their chest? Again, my opinion is that like whatever people are comfortable with, but I do feel like in our society, like trans men oftentimes aren't allowed, but it's like it's weird because there's like this line, right? And I think it's kind of stupid and kind of arbitrary. Because there's also like a lot of cis men that have like breast tissue, and like, do you guys think that like they need to cover that up? You know, it's really ridiculous to me. But yeah, if you're asking my opinion, like people should cover up whatever they feel comfortable covering up, and they should leave whatever out they feel comfortable leaving out. And when it comes to children, like so long as there aren't like lewd, like sexual, like all of that shit, like is like still wrong, you know, like being sexual towards children and stuff. But like I think explaining to kids that there are people who are different than you in the world is like a conversation that should happen pretty young. And like running into a person who doesn't wear the same amount of clothes as you just seems like another part of that conversation. Oh, you were thinking of cis men? Well, yeah, all cis men, trans men, cis women, trans women, like, yeah, chest tissue happens everywhere. I have a joke with my husband that if he doesn't need to wear a bra at home, then neither do I. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a raptor.
Clothes anywhere because anybody who's naked should be ashamed to be naked. At this point, I'm through being angry. The indoctrination just makes me sad. These are three kind enough people. They seem fun enough. I've already gone over the ways in which they, with a smile, are shaming people and making them feel like crap about themselves. I've covered that in other videos too. But they have demonstrably bad attitudes about sex and nudity, and that is going to permeate into so many parts of their lives.
I mean, I don't know necessarily if so far we've seen that it's like a bad attitude. It's a different attitude than his, but like it's not necessarily bad.
At the beach, should men have to wear a shirt?
I think that you should wear a shirt to go to the beach, and then granted,
The Long Island
Oops, sorry.
case is as gruesome.
I thought that I got all the ads out this morning, but apparently not. Sorry about that.
it is culturally acceptable for men to wear shorts. Wait.
Go.
You go to the beach. You can
They
take
keep
your
cutting
shirt
her off.
and then you go, or you're leaving from the beach. Put a shirt back on. You're
Okay.
no
Should
longer at
women
the
allowed
beach.
to be shirtless at the beach? then?
No,
It's a
because
double standard.
it's not a double standard. Your bodies are different at that point. Okay, yes, I see where I was being hypocritical.
I like that she like sees that and like recognizes it. Yeah, every attitude but Jimmy's is a bad attitude. Sometimes Jimmy's is a bad attitude too. But he's not going to see that. Porgnacia says, I've seen so many non-trans men who have chest tissue wear shirts because they get looks. Like, how dare you show that here? One of my friends experienced that a lot. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. Why would people? Oh my God. People are so dumb sometimes. Like, seriously. So dumb. I know people who, like cis men who prefer to wear a t-shirt when they're like in the swimming pool and stuff, but it's not because of tissue. It's just because that was what they were comfortable in. And again, I feel like people should like wear whatever they feel comfortable with, but like you shouldn't be bullied or harassed for wearing what you feel comfortable with. Oh my God. Like I'm going to get a little bit sorry. I had an experience the other day where I got harassed at the gas station for wearing a mask. And like where I live, it's like seriously, the area that I live in is so just like people are like live and let live. Like it's even if you have opposing viewpoints from people, it's like they don't want to get into it. It's like you just like live and let live, right? I went to the gas station. I not even like to fill up my car, but because the lawnmower needed gas, and so I brought like my little gas you know, the little tank, and there were people at all of the pumps. It was very busy. And so I put on my mask to like pump the gas, and these two guys like came out of the gas station, were like telling me to like take off my mask and like just like harassing me. And I was just like, oh my God. And I like couldn't even like fill up the gas, like the whole thing, because I was just like shaking. And you know how like it like will stop when it like feels splashback on it. Oh my God. I just had to leave. It was, ooh, sorry. A little, I'm still a little bit traumatized over it, but I'm okay. But yeah, that's what I read that about, like your friends getting looks and stuff. And like, how dare you show that? Like, that was that. I felt that just because like I felt that the other day. I don't want to say that like my experience is the same as theirs or anything like that, but like I felt like a little piece of that energy. Trail of Debris says, my fave hypocrisy here, not in the US, was that my state had a curfew when our numbers were massive, and then the government decided to do a nationwide curfew, and suddenly people were out on the street about it. That is a little bit ridiculous and hypocritical. Bree Burke said the only reason someone should wear a t-shirt is when that's comfortable, or when the sun is your mortal enemy and 2 minutes of sun will burn you like your partner. Yes. Being a ginger, I also feel that. Yeah, I'm fine. I am fine. I just, yeah, I do live in the Midwest. Exactly. Yeah, I'm totally fine. It was just like a thing that like, ooh, yeah. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. I don't know why people are still hostile about masks. It's 2021, people. Just like cover your freaking face. It's okay. Just cover your freaking face. If everybody would cover their freaking face and get their jabs if they can get their jabs, we would be done with this in like no time. But Janie says they're so pale that they practically glow in the dark. Yep, that's same team. Okay. Enough about quarantine. Back to Mormons.
No, it absolutely is a double standard. And while she's laughing
It
about
is a double
that
standard.
is the line that makes my heart sink the most. Your bodies are different at that point. Ladies and gentlemen, the Young Women's Organization of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints summarized in a single statement.
5 opinions today. Okay.
I think the Young Women's also says that like their bodies are different, and it also comes along with the like, well, your brains are different. So like you got lady brains, and that means that you got lady minds, right? Like that's part of it too, I think. Now, did we enter into religion equals intellectually impaired territory? I feel like somebody has probably gotten bingo at this point if they're watching on replay.
I can have 5 different opinions.
Okay.
She could have 5 different opinions. That's okay. Like I feel like we as humans are kind of, we're kind of made for that, right? That we can like, what's that? It's called double think, where you can like have 2 opposing opinions at the same time, and you just kind of like compartmentalize them. Humans do that a lot.
This all relates back to that, your internal modesty.
Yes, that is communism, caring about others.
Whichever means.
No, it's not. Just joking.
Different opinions on how their outward modesty is infected by their internal modesty. So for me, I don't believe I should be shirtless unless I'm taking a shower or I am swimming. Okay, yeah. That's what I believe.
Okay,
for me.
But meanwhile, you got your little temple garment showing there a little bit. Just saying.
I'm not going to tell that to some other guy that he has to listen to that, because his brain isn't going to work the same way.
By the way, I know what he's talking about, and it's not like a subtlety. I am certain he wouldn't feel comfortable knowing he was completely alone being naked. There's kind of like this barrier box.
But there are people who are just like that. I think when I was a kid, because especially when like all of my friends started like having like sexual feelings and like those types of things, and I realized that like nakedness was like a part of like that like sexuality thing for a lot of people, right? Again, I'm on the asexual spectrum, so I was like a little bit like kind of clued out. Like a lot of it went over my head, but I knew that nakedness had something to do with it. And so I was like kind of weird about like I just didn't like to be naked, like even when I was alone. But again, I don't judge people who just like sit around the house naked, like whatever. Trail of Debris says, what does my outward modesty have to do with my inward modesty? I can be dressed in winter clothes from head to toe and still have fantasies about someone I just saw bend over at the supermarket. Exactly. Priscilla says, they're not even that hostile about masks down here in the South. But I do have RBF that borders on we can fight right now face. Oh, resting bitch face that borders on we can fight right now face. Right on. That's maybe what I need to do. Actually, wifey and I kind of agreed after that we're just like not gonna go out alone. We're gonna pair up. This is massively, but what were they wearing territory, in my opinion. Yes, I agree. Trail of Debris.
That happens in the bathroom and a little bit more in the shower, where you feel like God's always watching, but not right there and then. Which incidentally, and this is a weird tidbit of information, is why you will find that most ex-Mormon men mostly masturbate in the shower, or at least did in the past. And yes, sometimes you slip and you end up getting an injury at scout camp.
I'm going to go with mentions his libido on that one. Sorry, back it up.
With girls, I don't care what you're wearing when you're swimming. I mean, wear something. Try. I mean, something. Okay, you know.
Try.
Don't walk around naked. Like,
Try
I know
to
it's
wear
super easy.
something.
Clayton, you're kind of making women just sound like it's just super easy to walk around naked. Just like, try it, put something on.
I mean, it is super easy just to walk around naked. Like you just take your clothes off and walk around. Really pretty easy.
No, I'm not. Okay, you know what I'm saying.
It's really not. Don't you know how ashamed I am of this?
You know what I'm saying.
I don't see exactly like the bathing suit issue that you do, and I understand. Like, I feel like you're a part of that group.
I am a part of that group as a woman.
And I think we need to respect that. And I
Bing, 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 bing. I don't understand because I've never been canceled by a bishop or a teacher on what I should wear as though I am a woman. And her hard cut in of, yeah, well, I was. And the fact that you're not more ashamed shows you don't know what I've been through.
I think when I make a decision based on like modesty, and I'm talking about women's modesty, I feel like I'm in the wrong place. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of why I feel No.
Yeah,
Hold on. Just one second though.
I agree with her that it's like it should be up to the women. But at the same time, she's saying like, oh, it should be up to the women. And like I've decided that like we definitely need to be more modest. So like everybody should be more modest. And he didn't say it, but like I feel like this like falls into like skeptical, but not like that territory. I was a nudist as a kid, but once I realized that my body isn't an attractive one, I hate being naked. Oh, I'm sure your body is an attractive one. I think all bodies are attractive bodies. I'm sorry that you feel that way. If you feel comfortable wearing clothes, I want you to like wear clothes, but at the same time, like I want you to feel comfortable in whatever you wear. So I hate that you don't feel like you're attractive. I'm sure you're attractive, Janie. I'm sure your body is beautiful.
Both of you. Hold on.
I wish you and the other men in your church would have that attitude about abortion, but that's admirable. You feel bad commenting on what a woman should do with her body. Too bad that's not a common or universal attitude.
Don't just prejudge what I was about to
just
say.
got put in timeout by
So
Ian.
one sec. Like, I just think the whole modesty thing needs to be your intent. You need to go to the beach to go to the beach. And if you're just going to wear clothes that are, you know, appropriate in the beach, I think that's okay. Like, kind of like the high-waisted bottom with the top thing where you're kind of showing 5 inches of skin here.
Don't you dare ever wear or do anything
goodness.
to feel validated in any way. Don't get me wrong. There's attitudes about this that are excessive and they're annoying and they're arrogant. But it's almost like he was like,
I agree
this
with
doesn't actually
Jimmy on
affect
this.
me. This isn't my group of people, so I don't know what it's like. So do whatever you feel comfortable with as long as you're ashamed at the end of the day of your body and the impure thoughts it's going to give me, then we're all good.
I mean, is that like what he's saying though? It's like he's saying like, hey, you're at the beach, like I can control my shit. Like, you know, like guys should be able to do everywhere. So therefore it's, you know, you should be he's not saying like you should be shamed. He's just saying like he feels okay with it at the beach, which I still think is a silly viewpoint, but like that's not what Jimmy is saying that he's saying.
It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to the beach to look at them, and they're not going to the beach to show their bodies off. I think
Exactly.
That's the way it needs to be.
Exactly.
Darn.
Mormon beaches.
Just Mormon beaches. We need to franchise Mormon beaches so that.
What would a Mormon beach be though? Would that be like the women are like in burqas? Like I don't understand. What would a Mormon beach be? Like there's just Mormons there, so you're only ogling other Mormons? What would that be?
That is just this thing that's a safe environment.
It's like
Personally, I think I'm looking at 3 Mormon beaches. The joke is that kind of sounds like the word bitch.
So we can just go.
That wasn't a good joke.
That's
Clothes.
Mormons just in their undergarments. There you go.
I don't know. There's no.
Do you know this guy? I'd love to go there.
I bet you, and you know,
would be
he would let you in
fun.
because you're dressed.
Because I would be clothed in 1800 style bathing suits.
Don't say that. See, that's what people think we do.
See, that's what people think we do. We just talked about all the reasons you should be ashamed, and now you're saying you're actually going to manifest that physically, and people are going to be like, oh my goodness, that's them.
I mean, that is like what Mormon undergarments are, right? Is like 1800 style bathing suits. Same shit, right?
1800. We're not
First of
from
all,
the 1800s.
Yeah.
We're not.
We're not Amish. We don't
Horrible
have
time to
beards. We're
exist.
not
1800s,
Mennonites.
dreadful time. Life wasn't good up until 1980, if we're being honest.
So a few things. The Mormon church was originated in the 1800s. And Kwaku, I'm just curious if the reason why you picked 1980 was because the church stopped being overtly racist, or at least by policy. Trust me, there was still plenty of racism in 1978. Nah, I'm sure it's unrelated.
Folks, internal
I'm going to
modesty
go with
is the
religion equals intellectually impaired just because
The script helps affect what the show
it's
is.
really closely
That's what I
tying to that.
Put that on a t-shirt and
Sorry.
wear it.
Folks, internal modesty is the script and physical modesty is the television show. The script helps affect what the show is and what you're going to see. That's what I think.
I'd put that on a t-shirt.
I like that.
I would put it on a crop top. That's what I would put it on.
I get that that's a funny joke to a Mormon, but you're going to hear me keep repeating how sad it just makes me that he thinks a crop top would be a crazy thing to put on it.
I mean, I thought it was funny. I thought it was like, did he just make a joke? Like he did. You know, those 40s swimsuits. Howard Knight, the 40s swimsuits. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of was the stripy ones, Janie. Yes, Kwaku did irony and Jimmy missed it. That's exactly what happened. Jimmy missed the irony. Okay, I have to look up the 40s swimsuits. So hold on.
Because clearly...
Wait. Oh, those are so cute. But those would not be temple undergarments. Like temple undergarments wouldn't be able to go under those, right? You'd still be showing off too much. That's 1940s swimsuits. But they are cute.
Clearly, crop tops are shameful.
But in reality,
Yeah.
internal modesty is super important because
It is.
if you're a good person on the inside, it'll show on the outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Janie. I'm glad you feel welcome here.
If you're a good person on the inside, you'll show on the outside. I'm sorry, that's actually the summary of the Young Women's Organization in a single statement. Because again, the implication is the way it works backwards. You can tell if a person is a good person or not by their clothes. They are saying there is a correlation between the clothes you wear, the type and amount of clothes, and the amount of coverage you have, and whether or not you are a good person. That a part of their morality is this.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And I absolutely agree with Jimmy on this part. I know, again, I don't always agree with Jimmy, but I do agree with him on this. It's ridiculous.
Objective fact that too much skin is not a good testimony or a good person. That is a sucky thing to say, you arrogant Mormon.
And it's like, it really does sort of indoctrinate them, like, overall, right? So, like, for instance, when I'm around my mother-in-law, who's Mormon, I definitely like don't feel comfortable, even if I like spent the night over there, just like going out in the living room in like a boxers and t-shirt or whatever, like, because she like looks at me as somebody who is like, again, immodest, but like meaning that in a bad way. Again, I don't think modesty is like a measure of how good a person is, but like that is part of that indoctrination, part of that brainwashing that she has still held on to, even though she's kind of separated herself from the church.
I'm done with these 3 today, but I gotta tell you, it gives me flashbacks to what I went through and how something that at the time seemed so mild and loving actually is so...
Oh, we definitely have some trauma dumping entering the chat here.
Double-sided. It's so mean and unkind and frankly angry. It's so shameful. We're going to talk about it a lot more in that future episode where I'm bringing in somebody who was actually excommunicated and she went through the Young Women's Organization. But this is...
Did he already say that? There's an Australian female professional diver who's arrested in the 1900s for indecency. She had to go to court for the right to wear suits that don't interfere with her sport. Oh, wow. My ex was Mormon, and it was like an undershirt that looked like he mended it, and long boxer briefs. Yeah. Oh, definitely too worldly for my mother-in-law with my short little boxer. I usually wear like boxer briefs, but they're like they are like technically like long leg boxer briefs because I'm tall, but they're not like as long as temple undergarments. Yeah. And it was like, I got side eye. Like, okay, cover up. I love my mother-in-law though. She doesn't like think that I'm a bad person or anything like that. I don't think she's a bad person. I just, I love her. She's great. So I don't mean to put her down at all. Janie says, I always wanted some long johns like they still wear in the Arctic. Yes. My mom has a set of those, that she wears in the wintertime here in the Midwest. And she loves them, especially like when she goes up to the barn and stuff like that in the winter. It's great. Yeah. Those would be kind of fun to swim in.
Terrible, and I will honestly say that
Would be
growing
kind of
up
fun.
as a boy in that church, it was bad. But undoubtedly, for people who are put through the Young Women's Organization, it has become my recent opinion, because I didn't know enough, that it is much, much worse. But as always, I do want to thank you very much for watching. Something new, we've added an email list. There's a link so you can sign up for it below. At some point, the YouTube algorithm's not going to be liking me as much. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss a video, sign up for that email list, and we'll be sending out emails letting you know that new episodes are out. Links to...
That's interesting that like, I feel like
these people are my absolute heroes because they invest in the channel. A link to my Patreon is down below. If you'd like...
I feel like it was almost like, oh, I forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry. I spaced out a little bit. I know. I agree, Sabatanius. We did not get Sky Daddy. Oh, apparently you can get long johns at JCPenney's. Nice. Nice. I don't know if anybody got bingo. I feel like they should have gotten bingo. I'm going to read off everything that I got on the caller's card. So you guys can let me know down in the comments if you're watching this on replay if you got bingo. We did not get Sky Daddy somehow. I didn't hear Button anywhere. This might have been like before he started like hanging his hat on the whole button thing. But, JD says, don't shower with your clothes on. I got curious and it's really hard to take off sopping wet clothes. Good to know, Janie. Thank you. So I'm going to call out my caller's card. I got indoctrination in Mormonism. I didn't get him dunking on anybody's looks. I did get performative feminism. I've got a question mark for be skeptical, but not like that. You guys can let me know what you think. I didn't hear button. I did get religion equals intellectually impaired. I did not get in Islamic religions. We were just talking about Mormonism today, so I guess he didn't need to bring other religions into it. You say button too? Okay, you did hear button. Okay, so maybe somebody has gotten bingo even faster on that one. I did get the opposing viewpoint is wrong. We got that a few times. We didn't hear GRSM instead of LGBT. He only briefly mentioned his libido, but I am going to give it a check on that one. I didn't hear any name misfires. I have a question mark on my experience as universal. Let me know what you guys think on that one. I didn't really see him forgetting that the other person is human, actually. So maybe that's something that doesn't happen as much until later. He didn't mention that he looks like Jesus, which is, I did go back like really deep into the vaults for this. So maybe like a slightly newer video. Misogyny is not on the card. We do have performative feminism. But misogyny is not on the card directly. I did get a check for mocks or belittles, a hobby he's not into. It's not a logical fallacy. If I do it, I did not see. I also did not see all religions or cults, but I did see religious gender rule enforcer, mockery McMockerson, superfluous soapboxing, trauma dumping, but I did not see more of a numbers guy. You don't think he did universal experience? Okay. But so there's mixed opinions on whether or not my experience was universal entered the chat. So I will give it to you for bingo if you have it, but if you don't want to check it, then that's cool too. We're allowed to have opposing viewpoints here, guys. It's okay. It's okay. So let me know if you guys got bingo. Oh, apparently there's also a set of long johns on Amazon. Yeah, Trail of Jabri says honorary bingo because you sat through the whole video. Exactly. Everybody gets bingo. And I'm sorry, I forgot who it was that made the bingo card. Can you just let me know in the chat really quick so I can shout you out in the description and add you in the description and a little thank you. Because I forgot to look and see who it was that made the bingo card. And then when I saw it on Discord, it wasn't the same username as they used on either Twitch or YouTube. So my brain doesn't always do those connections. My apologies on that. Sabatanius. Okay. Thank you, Sabatanius. It's wonderful. Janie said that she's literally writing notes about long johns. Awesome. That doesn't mean that you're a self-centered person if you didn't see it. Pork Nations helped come up with them. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. This has been really like so much fun. Yes, wifey did fix the printer. Yay, wifey. She is awesome. Absolutely awesome. She did better than I did. I did not hang my flag back up, but I will try and get the flag hung back up this weekend so that it will be up for next week. Reminder, next week the channel name is changing on YouTube to Savage Minnow. And I will be doing videos. I'm going to be doing 2 videos next week, and then we'll be continuing the series after that for at least one, probably 2 more videos about the Non Sequitur Show, Rise and Fall of the Non Sequitur Show, ACA, how that all kind of ties into it, and just some of the different players there. So I'm definitely going to be ruffling some feathers, but we'll see how it goes. And yeah, that's what we've got planned. Again, Gamer Mom Cooking is rescheduled for tomorrow. So if you guys want to come and say hi to Savage Mama, that would be awesome. She and I just hang out and have fun. And I think we're making pressed sandwiches in like a little sandwich press tomorrow. But she comes over at 9 and then we're usually on at 10. So I'm going to schedule it for 10 o'clock. And oh, thank you. Thank you, Cemetery. Yeah, I'm hoping to have everything like organized and stuff to where I can just explain it in a good like 10 Central. So Eastern, that would be 11, I believe. Yes. Yep. 10 Central Standard Time. But yeah, I'm hoping to get everything organized where I can like touch on everything and at least get it in like a format that is understandable for people, because when I went to like go find stuff, it was like pieces here, pieces there, and I like just kind of dove down a rabbit hole, and I just want to be able to like present it in a way that is like easy for people to understand, and like kind of from all sides. So well, thank you for ringing that bell, Janie. And I am going to jump off here. But I will see you guys tomorrow if you're coming for Gamer Mom Cooking. If not, I will see you guys on Tuesday. And I think we're going to start out talking. I think we're going to do the Kyle episode first is where we're going to start. But we will be talking about Non Sequitur Show and all of that jazz and how Jimmy ties into it and all of that fun stuff next week. So yes, everybody have a lovely day / weekend. If today is your birthday, I want to wish you a very happy birthday. Either way, I hope you make it a good one. Shabbat Shalom. And thank you to everybody for coming to watch, hanging out with me, doing the bingo. A very special thanks to my monetary supporters. These are people who've either bought merch or have helped me out some way financially. So big thank you to the Chorus Sinclair, my lovely Savage Mama, TikTok Bunny,